Now at 6, no kings. That is the message being spread at thousands of protests across the country. We hear from those here in Indy making their voices heard.
And we are tracking storms on radar. In addition to rain, wind, and storms, we've got more rain expected overnight. Now at 6, you're watching 13 News.
So we begin tonight at 6 with rain and the potential for storms across central Indiana tonight. And as you can see from our radar right here, we're tracking the impacts this could have to your evening plans. Rob Ellis has been on top of this for us really all day, and we're watching out for rain for the rest of the weekend, really.
Yeah, I think overnight tonight, more rain is expected. It's already caused some problems for some of the events and activities that are happening today. Let's take you to radar. We'll jump around the state because there's a lot going on. Heavy rain has moved through most of central Indianapolis and then points to the west, farther to the north and east on the northeast side, and maybe over to Greenfield down to Shelbyville. Heavy rain still expected to move through. I want to take you a little farther to the south, though, because in Bloomington right now things are quieter than where they were a little bit earlier. When we have the weather delay at Indiana University, there is still some lightning ongoing. A little bit of a wider view just to show you that more storms may be developing farther to the south and west. We'll watch that for the potential for more lightning as we get through the next half hour or so. Also take you to the north side of the state where we have ongoing strong thunderstorms just east of South Bend. The Notre Dame game there starts at 7:30. That will be a concern if we continue to have these scattered thunderstorms producing some ongoing lightning. And then also keep in mind the Ball State game is going to be happening over the next 30 minutes or so, and that means there could be some impacts if this holds together in the form of at least some rain, but also some lightning. We are watching the radar and temperatures cooling down. More rain is expected for tonight. I'm going to outline the timing of that rain, and tomorrow is going to be a completely different day. Big concerns for tomorrow if you have outdoor plans. I'll show you why coming up.
All right, Rob, thank you so much. We'll check back in. Of course, we're going to continue to keep an eye on rain and storms, but it is a busy weekend all across central Indiana, and that includes homecoming celebrations underway at IU. Brandon Schaff joins us live from Bloomington with a weather update there. Brandon, what's happening?
Yeah, good evening here in Bloomington. Homecoming weekend as Indiana is taking on Michigan State right back here at Memorial Stadium. The weather here, fortunately, has cleared up. While we can still see a lot of those clouds in the sky, and they are dark, and they were certainly causing a lot of rain earlier, and people were running for cover. There's a lot less people actually at the game right now sitting in the stands than when we first arrived here, but fortunately the game is back on. Second half action underway, and lots of excited Hoosiers still out here rooting on their team, which is now ranked number 3 in the country. And so later on in the show, we'll come back to me and we'll hear from some of those fans that were so excited to be out here and root on this team. But for now, reporting here in Bloomington, Brandon Schaff, 13 News. Back to you.
Oh my goodness, what a big, exciting weekend, even despite the rain. You work to stay dry, Brandon. We will certainly check back in. Now in other news, thousands of No Kings protests happened across the country, including here in Indianapolis. That's where our Ella Rhodes was earlier.
Hundreds of Hoosiers gathered here at the steps of the state capitol in Indianapolis for No Kings protest. In a sea of peaceful protesters, 84-year-old Diane Ross found herself protesting again. The first time, 1964, for civil rights. This time with her daughters.
This is so much worse. The country's so much worse now.
No Kings protesters are standing up against the presidential administration, calling Trump a fascist and a dictator. Diane's daughter, Shannon, says they're fighting for what the country was founded on.
I think the majority of people don't want to see this happen to America, and they need to see other people feel the same way.
Amy Courtney is the executive director of Mad Voters, one of the rally sponsors.
So we're trying to get the word out and trying to get as much visibility around what's happening and the authoritarian overreach, and that people are standing up and pushing back.
The same reason why Rebecca Klein chose to exercise her First Amendment rights.
Came out in defense of democracy.
And so did every single Hoosier in front of the state capitol.
I think we need to get out of the way a little bit for the younger generations. We need to do more leading and less blocking. So that's what I hope to see as well, an understanding of the world we're leaving to the kids and grandkids.
Protesting the current immigration policy.
And our democracy is not up for sale.
The push for redistricting, and workers over billionaires.
I want them to know that protesting like this makes change.
People still fighting for no kings since 1776. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
And WTHR streamed the entire No Kings protest. If you want to take a look at what happened at the rally, you can find it on our website at WTHR.com. Also, protesters took part in thousands of No Kings rallies all across the country. And you're looking at just some of those videos from Washington, D.C. to Chicago. People making their voices heard. In all, more than 2,500 protests were expected to take place, protesting immigration enforcement and other issues. Protesters say they are also frustrated by recent National Guard troops being deployed to Democratic-led cities despite local leaders pushing back.
We have masked goons roaming the streets, hiding their faces, abducting people.
Back in June, groups held similar rallies all across the country, including in Indianapolis. And tonight we're learning new details about a phone call between President Trump and Republican state senators. A spokesperson confirming to 13 News today that President Trump spoke to several Republicans over the phone yesterday morning to talk about redrawing Indiana's congressional lines. Well, Senate President Pro Temp Roderick Bray participated in that call, and all of this comes as the president urges several Republican states to redraw districts to gain more seats ahead of the midterm election. Indiana has been at the heart of the debate, with Vice President J.D. Vance making two separate trips to the Hoosier state to discuss the topic. And a group of state Republican lawmakers also traveled to the White House earlier this year to meet with those White House officials. Meanwhile, the idea of redistricting is being met with plenty of pushback. According to our partners at the Capitol Chronicle, the group, Indiana Conservation Voters, added $100,000 to a statewide media campaign urging Hoosiers to reject the redistricting push. In a release, the group says ads will play this weekend during tonight's Notre Dame game and tomorrow's Colts game. We have so much more on redistricting and the debate that's happening right now. It's on this week's episode of Crossroads Politics. You can see it tomorrow morning at 10 or streaming on demand at WTHR+. And we have an update tonight on a story that we first brought you yesterday. Metro Police now say they've made an arrest in a deadly shooting. Police tell us a 23-year-old woman is under arrest for allegedly shooting and killing another man in his car. This happened around 2 o'clock yesterday on Donald Avenue near Georgetown Road and 38th Street. Police say the woman drove off after the shooting. No official charges at this time. And right now, we're working to find out more about a deadly crash in Owen County. So here's what we know. One person has died in this crash. It happened around 1 this morning on US 231 near Hardware Road in Taylor Township. That's about an hour southwest of Indy. And we're still waiting to learn what caused the crash and if anyone else was hurt. And we'll let you know as soon as we hear back or learn more. Rob?
Well, we're still watching radar, active at the moment, watching the storms move through and producing some lightning. We're also watching the next round of rain. Yes, we are expecting more rain and storms for tonight. We'll talk about when that develops and when it will move through coming up.
And despite the rain, it is still homecoming weekend for IU. We're going to take you to the celebrations in Bloomington, still ahead. But first, the World Food Championships are back in action at the State Fairgrounds. How you can get a taste of the action next.